Hello, everyone, and welcome to this midweek message here on July 9th. I'm Pastor Aaron Holmgren at Salem Lutheran Church in West St. Paul. I have a couple of things I want to get on your calendar as we move through the later half of summer. The first thing I wanted to lift up is that this coming Sunday, the parable that we are hearing in worship is the Good Samaritan, where the lawyer asks Jesus, "Who is my neighbor?" So, for our adult forum, we're going to be looking at who is our neighbor in the more literal sense as we look at kind of demographics of uh, Dakota County and the population that surrounds us. So we'll learn a bit more about Dakota County, or maybe just brush up on some figures that you might already know. But it should be a great kind of study of our area. So that's going to be our adult forum after worship this Sunday. Another thing that's happening is we are continuing our donation drive for Magome. Um, and that's going to be through July 31st, which is a Thursday. So you can find a list of um, things that we need, and you can give monetary donations online. Um, but that is happening again through the month of July as we are going to go on August 20th. So it's coming up fast. This Saturday is West St. Paul Pride in the Park, and that's at the West St. Paul Sports Complex from 11 to 4. And Salem is having a booth this year. So if you um, are able to help out and be at the booth for any portion of that time, that would be appreciated. Otherwise, feel free to come to the event and swing by and say hi. So that's happening this Saturday at the West St. Paul Sports Complex. This next Wednesday, we have our next church movie night, and we're going to be watching Jesus Christ Superstar on July 16th, and that's going to start at 6:30. Last time we started at 6 and we offered dinner. This time it's just going to be popcorn and maybe some pop. So plan to eat ahead of time, but we'll have some snacks. But 6:30 Wednesday the 16th. Um, then Feed My Starving Children is the 18th, and that's going to be from 5 to 6:30. And that's sign up is available online or in the narthex. Sign up is available in the narthex. If you can't make it to the narthex, you should email um, uh, Michelle and let her know so that she can get you signed up. We have 15 spots reserved. I would love it if all 15 spots were filled. It's a great opportunity and a way that we uh, address hunger both near and far as part of our mission of proclaiming Christ's love in word and deed to our neighbors near and far. So we're getting hyper specific on our neighbors here in Dakota County for our adult forum. And then we don't forget about our neighbors far away with Feed My Starving Children and other events like the Magome mission trip as we share in our mutual ministry together. Um, Oh, men's breakfast is this Friday. I'll get an email out to our regulars here shortly. Also, another opportunity to volunteer is Habitat for Humanity, which is July 28th. I also think that Loaves and Fishes is coming up. I'm not seeing the date on the weekly announcements, but if you are a regular for Loaves and Fishes, or if you want to try out Loaves and Fishes, yes, it's on July 24th. And that's a great opportunity as well to volunteer and to be present within our community. So Loaves and Fishes on July 24th at 4:30 to 6. And if you are interested in that, you can email Janet. Let's see. I think that covers the big events. Um, the other thing that's going on is after the adult forum from last week, where I talked about my reading list for the year. There was some interest expressed about a couple of the books that I thought would make great um, book club books, book studies. So an email will be going out or a survey will be going out to get a feel for how many books we should order because we're gonna do one. So we have two books in mind, and be looking out for that, and make sure you sign up so that we know again how many books we can order. And I think the deadline for that. I think we hope to order the books by the July 21st, I think I said, but again, look at the email. That's going to be far more specific. So, um, again, so much going on. I also wanted to put on your radar because I'm just coming out of a meeting with Neighbors Inc. that they are hosting their first uh, this big event as kind of a solo Neighbors Inc. community event here in West St. Paul. It's going to be Two Rivers on October 10th, and they are actively recruiting the religious organizations within West St. Paul and the surrounding area to be active partners in this event. So we have been invited to participate in their activities area as volunteers and to help set up. And or you can walk as well. You can do both, but that's going to be October 10th, and I want to make sure that that's on our calendar as well. So for reflection, I kind of already addressed it a bit in bringing up our mission to proclaim Christ's love in word and deed to our neighbors near and far. The thought of neighbors is really on my mind. Just came out of a Neighbors Inc. thing as they addressed Dakota County, preparing for our adult forum for neighbors. Really looking forward to visiting with and getting to know our neighbors in Magome. And speaking of Magome, stick around to the end of this video to see some updates from our neighbors over in Tanzania. I'm just really excited about this concept of neighbors. And I think what we hear in the Good Samaritan um, is this turn of a phrase where Jesus takes the question of who is my neighbor and ultimately lands on it doesn't matter. It's who is a neighbor or how can you be neighborly to someone else? And so the question then becomes who was the neighbor to the man? And it's the one who showed him mercy. So our responsibility as followers of Christ is not to define the neighbor who's in, who's out, who's the exception to the rule, and who should be favored. It's how can we be neighborly in every situation, in every time and place that we find ourselves? How do we show mercy? How do we demonstrate God's love to our neighbors near and far? So, with that, blessings on your day.
Masalah kinawe kawashi pale. Hapa hivi kaendelea masalah.
naomba udongo ujaze. Yaani hizi kona mwanangu nasitaki yani zionekane zinawili. Zionekane zinawili. Inaitwa fundi jafe. Taonekana tumefanya ujinga hapo wote. Nenda. Wote sisi tunaonekana tu. Aje chawe. Ya mweka ile mkeke. Aí quando tem fumo de tende.